No warrior. However, we do have priest, so we will be going for priest. So like I said, we will be playing priest this time. All right, so we'll start with priest. We'll build the deck.
Light shall bring victory.
Guys, I take your feedback into consideration when we play on when we pick our cards. So definitely let me know your feedback as we go along. I will admit I have not played priest before, so again, this will be a learning experience. So we have 3 cards here starting out. Shadow Madness is a pretty solid card. Abomination, Gadgetzan Auctioneer also good. Gadgetzan Auctioneer is one of the best draw powers in the game, but I think here we go Shadow Madness. Shadow Madness or Auctioneer. Shadow Madness is really nice though, so I think we'll do that. Let's see, 3 more. Light Spawn is kind of interesting. Its attack is always equal to its health. With Priest being able to increase mob's health, he can become pretty strong. Darkscale Healer is a solid healing mob. Oasis Snapjaw is pretty mediocre. I do think that we'll go Light Spawn here. Looks like most of you guys agree a little bit. I'm going to try to stop saying as much as well. So, Light Spawn, I believe, is the way to go. Shield Bearer is a pretty good taunt minion. The fact that it's a 1-drop is great. The fact that it's 0-4 is not so great. Bloodfin Raptor 2 for 3-2 is above the stat curve. Bloodcell Raider, we're not going to have a weapon, so no bueno. I would say Shield Bearer here. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think Shield Bearer as well. Let's go with that. Gives us some good early position. Alright, good cards here. Young Dragonhawk is actually pretty strong if you don't kill it early. Priestess of Elune, good heal. Silence can't be underestimated, honestly. There's no way. And that's actually one of the Priest's really strong abilities. Hopefully we get the Mass Dispel in here at some point. Where we go for, which gives you an AoE silence. That's pretty cool. Alright, new cards. Northshire Cleric, good card draw. I've seen a Northshire Cleric do really well in a game. Abusive Sergeant, solid early minion. It's above the stat curve, great battle cry. Dragonling Mechanic is also good for board control, but I think Northshire Cleric here. And like I said, I haven't played Priest before, so Northshire Cleric, we can take a second one. Magma Rager is a 3 for 5/1. It's 1 health that almost never lives the second turn. So, Stormpike Commander is awesome. It is a it's just awesome because it deals 2 damage. It usually clears a minion, but I think we go for a second Northshire Cleric here. It gives us more stability in our deck. We can pick up some other things later. Down here at the bottom, guys, you'll see the mana curve. This shows the mana value of our deck. We generally kind of want to curve in the 3 to 4, 5 range with some good early and a couple big late. If you get too much early or too much late, it doesn't work well. Murloc Raider, not doing Murlocs. Youthful Brewmaster is an excellent utility card. It lets you re-trigger battle cries, but Inner Fire is probably one of the most core cards in the game. We can't interfire the Shield Bearer actually because if the oh yeah, actually never mind, we can. I was thinking it was Crazed Alchemist where it switches their health and attack, but you're right. We could interfire the Shield Bearer and make him really good. Alright, so Light Spawn, we've already seen this card, it's excellent. Murloc Tidehunter, we're not doing a Murloc deck this time around. I'm telling you what, guys, we tried a Murloc deck before. It's kind of tough to build a Murloc deck in Arena. I might actually do a constructed Murloc deck at some point now that we have so many cards. Spellbreaker Silence is just too strong, and it's 4/3 for 4. Yeah, I think Spellbreaker is the way to go. Light Spawn wouldn't be bad, but Spellbreaker, Silence, we're really going to control the board pretty well. I think what we've learned from our experiences yesterday is board control is everything. You can get that a few different ways, but taunt... Sorry, one second. Well, I dropped something that I'm not going to find now. Taunt is one way to do it. Silence is another great way, but yeah, I think Spellbreaker is the way to go. Gurabashi Berserker is decent. In fact, Gerbashi Berserker with a priest is really good because it can take damage, it gets buffed, and then we can heal it. So it can actually get really big. Silverhand Knight, a 4/4 for 5, gives you 2 minions. Mind Blast is just pretty awesome. 2 for 5 damage to the enemy hero, probably the best damage to mana ratio in the game. Mind Blast or Berserker would be really good. I'm going Berserker, I think. Hopefully we get some more Mind Blast. I'd hate to have no Mind Blast in this deck, but... Alright, so... Arcane Golem, not a big fan. Mind Control tech. You know, everybody talks about Mind Control tech and always wants to take it, but it's so situational and it's random, so they have to have 4 minions and you only get a random one. The odds of them having 4 big minions is not very good. So I think the priest is the way to go here. You get extra health. We can heal into that health. So yeah, it's great. Yeah, and we do already have Shadow Madness Vigon. That's a good point. Alright, so South Sea Deckhand, we're not going to have a weapon. Holy Smite, 1 for 2 damage is nice because you can hit anything with the 2 damage, heroes or minions. 5/4 taunt with Booty Bay Bodyguard. I always want to say Booty Guard, which maybe I'll just call him Booty Guard from now on. But I'd say either Booty Guard or Holy Smite. Our mana curve, we're getting pretty low here. We've got a bunch of 4 drops. Yeah, I think Booty Bay Bodyguard is the way to go. I agree. It seems like our experience in Arena, honestly, is that minion heavy decks seem to do well. I think to pull off spell heavy decks, you really need a lot of synergy, and it's hard to get that synergy in a Arena deck, honestly. Let's see, Temple Enforcer, give a friendly minion +3 health as a 6-drop. Razorfin Hunter's good board presence. Silence is silence. Yeah, taunt and draw power, really. Yeah, I think Temple Enforcer is an excellent minion. I'm gonna go with the Temple Enforcer this time around. Bluegill Warrior's a Murloc, not really. It's a 2/4/2/1 with charge. He's actually a good Murloc, a good mob outside of a Murloc deck. Frostwolf Warlord, good for minion heavy deck. Divine Spirit, double a minion's health. Is there really any question here? Yeah. Hopefully we'll get a Lightwell. I really hope we get a Lightwell, because if we get a Lightwell and Divine Spirit and Inner Fire, it's just so good. You can't beat it. Or Lightspawn, yeah, there's lots. Oh yeah, Lightspawn would be great. There's lots of good combos there. Not going to do the South Sea Deckhand. Loot Hoarder, I think would be great for draw power. It's a good steady card. Dark Iron Dwarf is a solid trade. It's a 4/4 for 4, and you give 2 attack. We're pretty... we don't really have any draw power. I'm tending towards the Loot Hoarder in this case. I think we'll go Loot Hoarder. I'm not even going to say anything about these cards. What do you think I should take? Yeah. Sinjin is an auto pick pretty much every time. You've heard the spiel before, but basically Sinjin at 4 mana, 3/5, best taunt minion in the game. You should, as Noxious would say, fist pump, take that card all day long. Yeah. Mind Control. This is an excellent card. It is core to the most priest decks. At 8 mana, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a massive minion out of it. Fin Creeper's taunt. It's a good taunt minion, but I don't think it beats Mind Control. And Priestess of Elune, we've already seen. Yeah, we're going to need to get 3 drops going here soon. We're halfway through our cards, so let's keep an eye out for 3 drops. But I think we need to take Mind Control at this point. Alright, so let's keep in mind for some 3 drops. So, Fade. Fade's an excellent card. Give your minions taunt and draw a card. You can imagine how strong that gets. Mad Bomber's good. I like the Dalaran Mage, honestly. At 3, it fits perfectly into what we need right now with a spell power. But it's really hard to not take Fade, so I think we're going to take Fade here. We really need to get some 3 drops going, though. So Murloc Tidehunter is an excellent... It's a great 2-drop. You make 2 minions, a 2/1 and a 1/1. Not doing Venture Company Mercenary. Raid Leader fits really well into our deck at this point. It's a 3-drop. It adds attack and a 3 for 2/2. I think it's a no-brainer, honestly. All right, so we have another Temple Enforcer. It's one of the best priest mobs, but it is a 6-drop. So here we need more 3-drops. The Raid Leader is probably one of the best 3-drops in the game. At 2/2, he comes in and pretty much always guarantees some removal. So he ends up being a 2-for-1 card pretty much all day long. And we saw yesterday that he was really, really good. Secret Keeper. Those of you watching yesterday might remember, I believe, in the Rogue match, I accidentally took a Secret Keeper because of a misclick. So, Stampeding Kodo is an excellent card. Again, it's usually a 2-for-1 trade. Knife Juggler is good. It's really potent in token decks. We don't really have much token generators. I still think Knife Juggler is the way to go, especially with the heals. I might be able to keep him alive for quite a while if I can get his health up. So let's go with Knife Juggler. Bloodsail Raider. You know, we could make a pirate deck at some point. I've seen a pretty interesting constructed pirate deck one time, but we're not pirates. River Cocolisk, 2/3 for 2, not a bad board presence card. But Northshire Cleric, I think, is again the way to go here. We got to get more draw power on the board. That'll give us 3 Northshire Clerics, but I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. Although I will say with Warlock yesterday, it was nice to have 3 Blood Imps or whatever the Stealth Imp were. We could have had 5 of those guys, I think, if we kept on picking them. All right, so let's look at our mana curve here. We're pretty high in the 2s. We need to get more in the 3, 4, 5 range. War Golem is a solid 7/7 for 7, but I don't think we really want that here. Youthful Brewmaster is an excellent utility card, as I mentioned before, but I really think Healer's the way to go. You come in at drop 5, and you can restore 2 health to all characters. I think is a solid card. It's a big card. It's a big body at 4/5 for 5, so we're gonna go Healer. Guys, I am reading your comments, so definitely keep commenting. Whenever you see me glance down, that's me looking at the chat. So, Lightspawn we've seen before, excellent card. So we have lots of good choices here. Taunt-wise, we have one Sinjin, we have a Shield Bearer, we also have Fade. I would be, instead of taking the Ironfur Grizzly, even though it's a 3-drop, I'm more inclined to take Fade, because I can give all minions Taunt, and it's draw a card. So, it's Taunt and draw power, which I think are 2 awesome things. Lightspawn is another excellent. My only concern about taking Lightspawn, we already have, what, 9 minions that are 4 or higher, so I'm a little concerned about that. So let's go with Fade. Alright, so we're getting down to 7 cards left. A second Mind Control. With Mind Control, I mean, it's a great card. The odds of us being able to use 2 Mind Controls in one game are not that good. However, taking a second Mind Control means that we're more likely to draw one during the game when we need it. Loot Hoarder is great for draw power, but we have so many 2-drops. Archmage is a solid card, but I don't want to hide any more minions. So I would either say Loot Hoarder or Mind Control. I'm very much in between. I think the real key on this deck, honestly, I'm gonna go Mind Control. I think the key on this deck is gonna be how much we leverage these Northshire Clerics. If we get a lot of draws from them, we'll do well. If we don't, we could be hurting. Spiteful Smith, not good if we don't have a weapon. Worgen Infiltrator, solid damage, but honestly, Mind Blast, we don't have any Mind Blasts. It's easily the best choice here. We're gonna have so many low-cost spells here. I think Power Word Shield. I mean, we're really, our mana curve is getting nasty. We are gonna have to get draw power. We will have to have draw power for this deck to work, but Power Word Shield is just so much energy. Wow, another Mind Control. Okay, we're not taking 3 Mind Controls. We just can't. That will kill us eventually. So Corehound is solid. It's a 7-drop. Gives us a big body out there. Actually, Frostwolf Warlord, it's a good mid-game minion. We're lacking in the mid-game a little bit, and it gives good buffs. We're likely to have good board presence because of heals, so I'm actually inclined to take the Warlord here over the Core Hound. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think Warlord fits in the deck better. I definitely agree, so let's get the Warlord out there. Alright, so we now see one of the best pre-spells in the game. Mass Dispel, silence all enemies and draw a card. Do we really need to talk about this? I don't think so. We will have lots of silence within this deck, which is great. Now, the one thing that can hurt you, honestly, if you go with a silence heavy deck, is silence does nothing to heroes. So playing a rogue that might hit you a lot with a weapon, or playing a charge heavy deck where the opponent just plays a minion, charges, and does damage, you never have a chance to silence. So silence can be a little rough there. Yeah, Shattered Sun Cleric, it's a 3-drop. We desperately need some 3-drops. One of the best 3-drops in the game. All kinds of synergy with our deck. Yeah, Cleric. Alright, wow, so we get epics for our next to last cards. We have a couple giants. Wow, look at Cabal Shadow Priest though, guys. So let's think about this. This is probably a big pick for us. Molten Giant, it's good because you can drop it. Okay, so the way Molten Giant works, it gets cheaper the more life that you're missing. So once you get to 10 to 15 life, it really becomes castable. Sea Giant, it can be really good, especially early game. If there's 5 minions on the field, you can drop it at 5. Cabal Shadow Priest is pretty nice, but at 6-drop, we're pretty high. So yeah, I agree. I don't think Molten is good because you're going to be healing yourself. Unfortunately, I have not got any beta codes yet, guys. I am working on it. I'm thinking Sea Giant here. Yeah, looks like you guys agree. That Cabal Shadow Priest is really good, honestly. But by the time you get to 6, they may not have a minion on the board for you to take. All right, guys. So that's our deck.